Hey there, if you're an occupational therapist and you got an interview and you went through the interview and you're like, I really want this job, let me share with you my 2 major tips on post-interview etiquette, okay? So I have a video that I made on the 7 tips of interview etiquette, right? The 7 basic things that you should be doing. Now here, afterwards, after your interview, what are the things that you need to do to ensure that you get that job offer over someone else? Increase your chances of getting this job, okay? So I only have here 2 tips, 2 major tips, right? Post-interview. So you did the interview, you're like, I think it went great, but I'm just not really sure. What do you do next? Well, first of all, the very first thing that you want to do to ensure that you get that job offer over someone else is to follow up. Period. Boom. Follow up. Now, it is so simple as to 1, send an email, right? Send an email and thank them for their time. Thank the interviewer for giving you the time to talking to them, getting to know the company, blah, blah, blah. Be specific about points, right? Now, this does not need to be like a love letter, like a novel. It doesn't. It can be very short and sweet. Thank them for their time. Be specific on certain details, whether it's something that you really liked or just to let them know that you are very interested in the job. Somebody asked me the other day, how do you tell them that you're interested in the job? You just tell them. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate all the time you took to talk to me, blah, blah, blah. And these are the things that I was really interested in about the position that we talked about. It really piques my interest, da-da-da. Just want to let you know that I'm very interested in the position. Please let me know, about the next steps, right? If they've already told you, then you can say like, I'm looking to wait to hear on the next steps. If you're unclear about the next steps, definitely ask about what the next steps are, right? But basically, you're still interviewing until you get that job, right? You're still interviewing until you get that job. So everything really can come down to your attitude, your discussion, everyone in that whole process. Now, in my last video, in terms of interview etiquette, that last 7th basic step was like everyone who's involved in that interview process is important. So if you have an opportunity, you can go back and thank each of those people. Now you might just have like 2 people, and that's okay. You follow up with them and say thank you for your time, blah, blah, blah. Until you get the offer, you're essentially still interviewing. So everyone who's a part of that process is really key. So, maybe you're interviewing at a big company and there's several different people and different processes. So let's say you interview with the HR person and then you're interviewing with the director or the supervisor or whatever. Every person there plays a big role in terms of the job offer and will you actually get it. So when it comes down to negotiating for things, really be really intentional about what you want. You want to be clear and confident about what you want, but you also want to be thoughtful in terms of how you're asking and what you're asking for. Now, when it comes to post-interview, you might be having conversations about money and benefits, right? You might be having conversations about money and benefits. So be thoughtful. You definitely need to be, you're clear that if you want the job, right, that's going to propel your career in hand therapy, let's say, for example, how much of a difference is a few cents or a dollar compared to the experience that you're going to get? How important are the benefits to you versus getting something that is stable? So those things are really, really important to you, right? And everyone is a little different in terms of what they want. If you're really clear about it, that's good, but there's always a give and take, right? There's always a give and take. So one of the things that I kind of experience a lot is when people come to me and they don't have any experience. But yet they want top dollar, but they have no experience. So there's no proof in that. So you want to be very intentional about how you're thinking, and how you're asking for things, and how you're it's not just what you're asking for, but how you're asking for it, right? So everything is about not what you're asking, but how you're asking for it too. So sometimes you're like so close to getting that job offer, or they're giving you that job offer, and you might be talking to certain people, and if you come off like your attitude and your discussions might turn the whole process a little sour against you. So I would just say that just be intentional about this, that follow-up process, because until you get a firm offer, you're still in the interview process, right? So that's really key. First is your follow-up, right? First is your follow-up. Two is you're always still interviewing until you get the offer. Now, this is a side note. This is actually, do I make this a number 3, or is it just a side note? I just wanted to really talk about professional courtesy, right? Professional courtesy. You want to be told if you didn't get the role, right? So from my standpoint as someone who's hiring, I want to be courteous and tell somebody that they didn't get the role, right? So a lot of times when I talk to people, I do have a sense of like, you're not a good fit for what we're looking for, and I don't have the offer that you're looking for. So I do try to tell somebody right away that it doesn't look like we're a good fit. We're not a good match right now. It doesn't mean that we wouldn't potentially work together later on at some point, right? So there's a professional courtesy on their part, but you also, as someone who's looking to land that job and get that offer, you have a professional courtesy as well, in terms of if you want the job, you want to follow up and say that you want the job, right? If you interview and then you decide, man, even though it sounds really great, it's not what I need right now, oh my God, please tell them. I guess this is part of the follow-up, right? So if you do the interview, even if it's like 1 or 2 steps, hey, just write them back, or give them a call and say, thank you so much for your time. Based on what we talked about and I was thinking about it, this position isn't right for me right now. Just tell them you don't want it. I cannot even tell you how many people ghost us, all right? Where they make the appointment to come for the interview and then don't even have the courtesy to cancel or not show up, right? So these are people taking their bad dating habits and bringing it into the professional realm. We're not dating, people. There's no need to ghost me, right? Let's be professional here. If you decide, hey, you don't want this job, I have a full-time job offer right now, right? But you don't want full-time. You're like, I love per diem work. I want per diem work. Or, you want a part-time job. The only thing I could do right now is I want a job that allows me to work from 9 until 2 with an hour lunch. That's not my job, right? But don't make an appointment with me and then not keep it. Have at least the courtesy to go and tell somebody, right, that you're no longer interested in the position. Withdraw your resume, right, or your position type of thing. So just tell them professional courtesy, especially in the therapy world. It is small. It is not as small, always. So so there's no embarrassment in it, in the sense of, if you don't want the job, you don't want the job. That's okay. But don't not tell somebody and then not show up, because I promise you, that does not look good. And at some point or another, if you do want to circle back around and apply for that job, they may not consider you. right? So post-interview etiquette, follow-up is huge. And then always remember you're still interviewing. Those are the two major ones when it comes to post-interview etiquette. So my name is Huang with Hand Therapy Secrets. I help OTs land jobs in hand therapy, and if you are looking to develop your skills and grow your confidence, I'm going to include the links with the information about the programs if you want to grab them below. But if you like videos like this, definitely consider subscribing to the video, click the link below, and also if you know somebody who could use some help with their interview process so that they can increase their chances of getting the job that they want and growing their career in the direction they want, then please consider liking this video, sharing this video, and definitely don't be shy. Leave me a comment below and let me know if this video helped you at all. Again, my name is Huang, and I will talk to you in the next video where I'm going to share with you some key tips on engaging and asking the right questions during an interview.